All right, here's the trailer. A lot has happened since I've really filmed on this thing, and it's just that's the way this is gonna go. I'm gonna start filming now, so but I'm just gonna, this is a video to just catch you up. So obviously the last video you saw is probably gonna be of me like taking off decking or something. It's gone a lot further since then. So I've built this cage around it, basically a room that the whole top drops down. Inside there is some shocks on these sort of arms. This arm here, shocks that go down, and this helps suspend the whole top. Okay, there it isn't really riding on any bearings or anything, it's just kind of floating. And then this is like the subfloor. So I will put vinyl planks down on this. I'll screw this down and then put the floor down. Toilet will go there. Out here we have this. This is where the lock goes through. I got this RV style lock. I had to 3D print this spacer right here that to basically space it so it would hold still. That works pretty good. The bottom door comes off with like these two nuts right here, and then I welded these bolts to the actual bottom door. So I'll just take that off and like put it in there. Well, you know, we'll probably find a mount for it or something. Inside here, the things that I have left to do is the walls and the floor and mount the toilet, and then probably some sort of window, maybe a vent, that type of thing. But it works pretty good. It closes. We move on back. This is the winch system. It's just like a boat winch from Harbor Freight. So what I decided to use, and it just simply connects to this. There's a reason that this is offset inside of here, and it's because I didn't measure this well to center these two. So this is actual center. These are off. It's fine. It works good the way it is. This is just welded to this support here, and that's different, and that just raises and lowers the whole top. Okay, I reinforced this kind of with these like triangles, you know, and this is going to be the front of it, what may eventually be an entire box back here. This might be an entire box that will enclose e-bikes. It's kind of the plan with this trailer, is e-bikes back here. You know, like if I was rich, they'd be Surons, but since I'm not, they're probably going to be crappy ones. I don't know. And basically back here is where I'm working now, and I've decided to put airbags on the trailer. So I've started to put the airbag mounts here. I welded this and this and this to the frame, and then I cut that out. Okay, so the bag is going to go in there. When the bags collapse, the axle will come up into here to about here. The clearance I have is about to the top of the original frame. It's about 8 inches because I need to account for the black tank down here. And I did build, you'll see way down there, I did build some support already. I'll build more to keep the black tank from being crushed if like we were to drop it on the black tank, because all of this is going to lower 8 inches. So basically these are going to be my arms to help locate the axle. But basically that's what I've got going on there. I put in these support bars to hold. This is like a safety mechanism. So this holds the top box up in case the shocks fail or the cable fails. This will keep it safe so that this box doesn't fall on somebody's head. And basically the way this works is these pins just kind of come out. Okay, so I just pulled that pin out, and right now it's being held up by the shocks. Okay, and then this folds down. This folds down to there for travel. So when the box is down, that will be down there. And I just put these little angles on it so that we always have the pins. We just put the pins back in there and lock them in. So on this side, I'm just going to put bolts. I have the bolts here that they will just bolt in. So it'll just hinge back and forth. And I have the same thing on the other side. these stabilizers came with it. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use them because this is going to drop 8 inches. So I think what I might have to do is take them all off and cut them and then weld them back together shorter. It will basically look like this when we're camping, but it will be 8 inches lower. So hopefully that's kind of a project overview. Obviously you're going to see some of this in other videos before this video. There will be a playlist on the channel. I always do playlists for these things, so if you're watching this, go find the playlist. But basically this is where this is gonna go. So I already have this figured out. For the top mount should go here. If my math is correct, the axle is gonna move an inch back, and so this top mount might have to move a little bit, but forward or backwards. It just depends on how I want to set this up. But what I need to do today is locate where that is going to go on there, on the axle, where this mount is going to go on the axle back and forth, side to side rather, so that I can just put the bag in and bolt it in. But I need to weld that to the axle. And so what I need to do is find a way of measuring out from the rim so that they're the same on both sides, so that the axle locates side to side. These arms that I've got here are going to weld up into there, and then they're going to come down to the axle, and then they will be U-bolted to the axle, actually with that U-bolt that's holding that bracket on right now. The reason it's holding that on is so that I have a way to clamp it, because I don't have a good clamp. And then what I'm going to do is, since these brackets are too small from here to here, I'm just going to get some other material and weld it in here to the axle and to this, and cover that gap. So, you know, it's going to be somewhat hacked together, but that's what happens sometimes when you're doing custom stuff. It is what it is. This is the way I do it. I don't know if this is right or wrong, but the other thing I guess I need to do too is tie this all the way over to that. So I'm going to put some square tube between them. I'll probably use this thick walled square tube that I have, this guy, just for strength to support those two together. And but I'm going to wait to do that till after. And then on top of this will be, you know, all decking. This will be all flooring, like some sort of metal decking. And then the bikes will ride back here, probably the floor jack, you know, just like tools, the bike trailer, because I'm going to have a trailer. So, but what we need to do is figure out how far in these need to go and then weld them to it. Then that will locate the side to side. You're going to hold this camera now?
Ready?
And stop slacking and do something for me?
No, I can't just have a day off. From the kids and everything.
What do you mean?
You're making me work.
This is supposed to be fun. This isn't fun to you?
Yeah, standing around with the camera.
Well, or you're just gonna stand around, right? Okay, so this one is 3 5/8, 1/16 over 3 5/8. It's essentially pretty much there, so we just need to push that one that way a little bit, I think. I think this is more straight up and down now. Do you remember what it was? Was it 3 5/8 from the rim? Okay, I think that's it. So let's tighten that down. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to make sure that they're both level to each other. That's the only last thing that we need to figure out. How are we going to do that? Got any ideas? Where's the idea person at?
I thought you were that guy.
You thought I was the idea person?
I mean, look at this. This came out of nowhere, out of nothing,
Alright, so what I have here, so I went and got this piece of angle iron, cut it up, and I think it's gonna show. So basically, if we look at this side, it's completely flat on the bag mount down here. So it's completely flat on the bag mount. And on the other side, there's a little bit of rock to it. But I think it's good enough, really. I'm gonna just call that good, because it's less than a 1/16 of an inch. So the bag will flex, so I'm just gonna weld it in right there. So now all we need to do is figure out how to fill in this gap in here. And then we'll just put these where they are. The other thing that this did is I cut it to the length of just basically the width of the tower up above, and it's just a little bit, should be a little bit fatter on each side. Right here, there should be a little bit of a stick out on each side. So I'll go look at the other stick out. And if it's the same, then we'll just put them there. I think they're where they need to be though. I mean, how perfect can I get this really, right? Let's just weld it. All right, so I cut off these little tabs here. We got this here that will go into there, and it'll just weld to that. It's gonna be plenty strong. And then of course I'll weld around the top of this axle tube to that, and that to that on all the sides, and then another one over here. Right, like that. And so I'll come back when that's all done here. Ground off that side too. So this is gonna work. And then we'll do the inside too. I might have to take the tires off, but alright, well, it broke the welder, but I managed to get all of that done. And I started on this side and broke it, so that's basically what it's gonna be like. So I'll just keep going and come back to you when I have bags on it, I guess. Guess I'm gonna have to go buy a new welder. This bag is mocked up. This isn't right here, but we'll fix that later. I got the bottom cup welded on, and then this one over here, same kind of thing, the bottom cup welded on. This bag, so I'm gonna go through and weld these top plates on now, and then we will weld on the arms, maybe attach them. I don't know what the last update was, but I welded this here. It's alright. I welded that to that, and I welded that to that, and I welded these tabs on, which this was really hard to weld because it's just such a funky angle. So it is what it is. They're on there. If they fall off, then just keep driving, right? So basically these will kind of locate the axle, so I need to get some flat strap. You can see it a little better on this one. So I have the U-bolts here, and they will go up like that, and then flat strap will go across here into here, and then I'll weld the flat strap down here wherever I decide I want my axle to stay. I'll weld the flat strap on, and that will hold the axle there. So I could probably just clamp it and be alright, but I'm gonna weld it. That'll be the swing arms. I might, cut them off after, but they're mocked up. So now I'm gonna drill some holes in the flat strap that I cut, and then I'll put it on there and come back at you. But it looks like it's going alright. The axle's in the air right now. It's basically just hanging. The axle's hanging off the ground, and so when you put air into the bags, they get a little taller. So because this is ride height, this thing is set up at what I want ride height to be, and so, which it ended up working perfectly. Once I put some air in the bags, they extend out a little further, and it puts those tires right on the ground. So this height was perfect for the mounting. And it looks like they do squish up pretty tall. I stuck a jack under there earlier and squished them up. If I get this done tonight, then I might have this thing dropped on the ground today. Well, we got it mocked up, so I still got to take it back apart and paint it. But I know that side is gonna leak like crazy. because I don't have that fitting installed all the way, but let's just see here. We did drop the trailer down, so it's not all the way down, but it is low. It will go lower, but let's pump it up here and see what happens.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my! Wow.
See, that side leaks.
Yeah.
So that'll be at right height. So we'll go to camping and it'll be that high, and then we'll just dump the bags and it'll basically settle down onto its spot and no steps required. Right?
That's cool.
You like that?
You want me to try and get from a... Yep. Wow. That's wild. So how do you control the flow?
I have
Of air. What?
What do you mean?
The flow of air going into the bags.
Well, the compressor will control it.
Oh, okay. So it turns off when it doesn't need to be filling it?
Basically what